They've got the Nautilus and the Jin for setup. Equalizer and Needlework for extensive slows. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage that can be done against Rumble in lane. Gwen with something of an answer, and Gwen might be just used against you as well. If you can't deal with one in lane, how about both? Flashing away, and an E snip snip secures a kill over for this Gwen. Nice gank. Don't think there's going to be too much more here. Can they look for a fight on the way out, though? Debating, looking for something a little more here. Missing, eats a big chunk. Foss bomb lands as well. So, oh, bit of an engage happening onto Cube. That's what I get for needing to respond to a message. Missing, flashes on forward, gets a trample stone into the vault. Breaker means this Rumble will likely die, but here comes the rest of the squad. Flash on forward for the Dredge side. Now Missing's in danger. Can they look for anything more? Here comes Scout, ulting up the river. Flash for the Q into the cease and desist. Slicing Maelstrom after brings down the Gwen. Wonderful pickup. And they make it 2 for 2 in the end as Shun was traded. Karis managed to get it by Monkey. Let's break that trade a little bit. Vi over the wall. Going to be chased away by Monkey as Vampire now in a spot of bottom edges. The bullet time comes on through, but the Hallowed Mist denies most of it. Alongside that Unbreakable Will, Vampire now has that timeout though, and what like a good deny of the bullet time doesn't get them out to safety. So yeah, but basically they shouldn't have, is the honest answer. They try to cheat it because the Gwen can rush it, and didn't defend it well enough. Gonna head over towards the Grubs, flash on in for the Q, into the cease and desist. Missing, doing a lot of work. The bullet time is phenomenal. Scout looking for an angle. Teleport now coming on in. Cube is around. Vampire in threat, though, goes down. The equalizer onto Ale is solid enough. Jun flashing away. Managed to get one kill, but nothing more. Scout flashing for the charm! Monkey is down. Valkyrie away. Tries to keep Karis safe. They will lose Shun. Another knock up onto Cube. He's doing a fair amount of work and flashed away himself. Curtain's now called. Pay's going to look for that angle. Missing Kurt. We're going to be hyped with the charm, though. More is summoners besides. Largely, I think, an okay play for JDG. 2 for 1, plus a stolen grub, plus a load of summoners burn, and Monkey now under threat in their own jungle. Does not get to use the Hallowed Mist. 4th death of the game, the Gwongle. Are they going to try and trade out with that turret? Still WE picks up the feats of strength there, because they got the first turret and the first 3 kills. Shun's going to pick up this Herald, though. Ale will trade turrets, so in the end, a slight stronger feat. Not necessarily going to decide the game here, I don't think. Especially with Dragon up. Monkey's going to try and rush this again as a Gwen with an Ashes Tooth. You do spread through these objectives relatively fast, all things said and done. Overcome JDG, though. Oh, Monkey, I think you've tried to cheat some tempo there. Gets caught out over the wall. We'll try and steal away. Can't do. Dies to make this play happen. The Hallowed Mist comes on down. Shun goes, yeah, thank you for the leash. Soul point secured by WE. I get why Monkey's doing it. He wants to cheat that away and get the Ocean Soul point away from JDG, but can't quite do it in time and dies for it. JDG playing well. They are at the minute. The mid game has always been their strength. This game seems to be no exception. Karis looking to reset. Oh, Ala's going to find him. Throws down the Lightning Shuriken into the Slicing Maelstrom. Passive comes on through, and the W proc is pretty good. Hang on, Conqueror! Didn't get a good enough stun off. Oops, Ala. That's a very Ala moment. And actually, going to try and rush out to Khan here with a man advantage. Hang on, hang on, hang on. JDG feel like they're going to have to contest, but they're down the cannon with no ult. Equalizer comes on through. It's good. Missing's in danger. Has to flash away. Monkey to get the needle worked out. Flash out from Shun. Vampire in danger as the bullet time shreds out most of the team. Scout looking for an angle. They will get one back. Atacard stolen. And that means the GAs are online. Oh, no. WE chose their moment. I don't blame them for looking. I really don't. They had the man advantage. They forced so many flashes, so many low health bars, but they can't win the Atacam fight. They saw their window, and JDG are cruel indeed. They snap it shut. It's a guillotine all along. Missing. Pays will step onto that turret. Take it out. Baron spawns in 2 minutes. They're not even going to deal with that. They're just going to use the fact they have these GAs to really force turrets very hard. JDG have always been a team that plays around structures, plays around forcing the Monkey now on a flank angle. But to what end do you really want to play with these Atakan withdrawals up and available, missing? Steps forward, might die here, but is kind of happy to do so. But not before already potentially taking Vampire with him. They go into the backline with a cease and desist. Karras in danger, taken out. Cube flashing away, goes down as well. Misfortune picks it up. It is a triple to Pays on that Misfortune. Great fortune for JDG. A disastrous one for WE. They need to go to some Shinto shrine somewhere and cleanse their spirits, clearly, because this was an inauspicious game indeed. Jingdong Gaming will take game 1. A little bit of playing with their food at the end of the roll. Arlo will pick up the kill there onto Vampire. Charm. And on the fountain onto Tay. You won't be able to quite pick him off, but the damage is pretty damn brutal. A lot more viable. A lot easier to hit. So, JDG, if you can get to 2 items plus on those 3 core carries, life is good. Okay, Scout is probably dead. Nice combo from Monkey. Crash down away. Big chunk onto Taeyun. Oh, man. Missed that Q. It would have been a nasty moment for Taeyun, but down to half HP. Shun takes up the dragon. Taeyun hanging around, can look to come on in with the killer instinct. Vampire left out to die. The Eclipse comes on down. Buys some time. Missing. Out of range as Shun has to flash away as well. Taeyun now here looking for potential angle on in. Has got the ult. May want to burn it. Flashes away. Barrier down as well. But then a flash shattering strike means that they get another one back. And Missing doesn't take enough angle from those minions. Alright. Shun is in danger. It just goes down. Nice pick off before the grubs could be taken. Pays looks to get something more, gets a decent chunk on a Karras, but that's only half of his HP bar. Monkey now on those grubs with the jungle dead. Shun caught out and about there. The Eclipse completed for Monkey, and down goes that Xin Zhao. Bot side though, Scout's going to take that first turret. Which is a fairly decent win, I think, all things said and done. JDG happy enough to trade that additional kill there. Might look well, come and fight for at least the last grub here. Over comes Arla as well. Monkey may need to back away from this one. Shattering strike just wide as Monkey flashes. To the skies though goes Arla, looking to push Karras back and around. Hands a shot blast just shy of Karras' final location after a quick jaunt across the wall of his between worlds. Pays is too good, man. He's having a good time on this Ezreal. He is up, what, 25 odd CS, 30 CS? That is a rough place to be. That's poor old Taeyun. Again, the Kai'Sa will eventually be good into the Ezreal. As long as you can survive the lane. So far, it's been pretty rough. Fights occurring once again in the river. Missing, crashes down, buys some time, but in comes Kai'Sa. Pays, survives, but Missing does not. WE really got to claim this turret here. Hypercharger available. Wants to get that demolished proc. Does so. Monkey's around. Won't look to go all in on that one. First turret secured by JDG. Alright, hang on. Let's do a fight on forwards. Public Execution comes on down and goodbye. Karras deletes Missing. WE continuing to make the more successful proactive plays for all the JDG are farming well. These death ball plays are working. The problem is they're not turning into all that much yet. That might get them a dragon, but it loses them another turret. There's only so many times you can make these plays. But look, we want to play for this turret. They're TPing in. Arla jumped on, flashes away from the public execution. The rest of the team goes looking. Solar Flare just shy. Getting a slow onto Arla, who's going to get jumped on. Will likely go down, but doesn't quite take Monkey with him. They burn everything to get it happening. They will kill Arla. Great news. However, they lose the mid-tier 1 for it. They get the Herald. But the map continues to be played wider by JDG. Can they catch someone else on the retreat? Vampire, split off from the team, has no Solar Flare, has no Flash, and Ignite in a Dream. He has been jumped on JDG saying, yeah, we can play this. True Shot Barrage comes across, Magic Storm into the backside, Monkey will immune it with that call of the pack. Into the Between Worlds we go, and WE begin to respond. Pays now in danger, nowhere to go. Finally, Shun turns up, but where was he this entire time? Trying to fight off with Monkey, I would guess. Second dragon for either team. Gold lead, kind of non-existent now for JDG. Man, a few of those fights have gone really wrong, haven't they? We said WE, okay, take these objectives and turn them into something. They have now. There's the turret down, finally, for WE. That'll help bring back some of that standing gold. Still no damage really on that top or mid turret, but they want to try and look to come on in to this river. Set up for a second dragon. In goes Monkey. Onto Scout. Stays alive for a second or two. Looking to try and bring down the Victor and do so. That allows a reset on that call of the pack if they want to. Hound Pursuit, sorry, JDG caught in the middle of everyone. All the while, Alice solos out the Kai'Sa. You lost your jungle, you've lost your mid. That will be Dragon over for WE, but Alice somehow pouncing on Taeyun. Might get a tier 2 off this. Will do. Muramana transformation is a scary beast for Jace. Dragon secured by WE, who are playing out a much, much better game in game 1. JDG, we said, look, sometimes the playbook don't work. Weird spot now. Close enough in gold to make this playable. But they don't really have much in the way of map control. They're trading Atakan here for turrets. Well, cool. It's the permabuff. Of course, there's not actually that many objectives yet for JDG. So it's not being buffed out that much. And they know it's happening. They're saying, look, we really just want to get some gold on the map. And try and get the mid-tier 1. If they can get 3 turrets for Atakan, probably worth it for WE. Swing themselves into a gold lead for the first time this game. Oh, welcome back. Got Soul Point. Quick wave for the camera, mate.
Oh, we'll get back
into it. There we go. Fight happens. Vampire goes deep. WE in a pretty interesting position at this point. Shun trying to get some damage on the backside of the back. The execution comes on in. The problem is Monkey and Taeyun can keep on diving. They'll finally bring down the Kai'Sa, but watch Pays. Watch what he can do. Monkey still alive. The Profane Hydra build on this Neferi finally brought low, but Karis and Cube still break the back of that fight.
Monkey continually so important for Team WE. 7-1-7, the full assassin Neferi. Pulling.
But that means Neferi's not exhausted, Kai'Sa's not exhausted, and Bess is not exhausted. The CC's not fantastic for WE. The target axis sure as hell is. Solar Flare lands. Arla forced to back away. Vampire down to half HP. They're going to go on Henge. Shun trying to find an angle. This would still be Soul Point for WE if they can secure it. It is taken by Shun though, which evens up the dragon count. Public execution into the backside from Q. The turnaround with that call of the pack and the Hound's pursuit. Monkey will finally fall as Scout picks that one up. Aside from power and Karis goes down. And WE, the second round, isn't good enough.
Once again, Vampire evaporated at the start of the fight, and it has to be kind of like a brawling outplay kind of situation from Monkey, who this time can't quite make the magic happen. Karis, only 2 stacks on the Magi's now. He has been shut down. JDG, after taking the Dragon with so many kills, they will move straight towards the Baron, and there will be no contest.
None at all. It's been the first one fight, really, from JDG this whole game. They found picks individually. Arla up an obscene amount of CS in that early game. The early lane leads, the early turret leads were looking problematic. Baron will help with that a great deal. Very, very squishy. Your upfront burst, unreal. Your healing once you kill someone, pretty good. Until that point, you are still just about 2,000 HP, if that.
And you see JDG starting to crush the map now. This is a problem.
JDG are too focused on killing the first target. We have seen the second and third ingresses into the backline. Got a lot of value for WE as this game's gone on.
Yeah, I think you would have really liked to see the AP Kai'Sa at this point in the game, though, with this kind of team.
Yeah.
Double AD assassins on your team. The Kai'Sa going towards the crit build, definitely. Oh, hang on, Vampires has lost all of his HP. He's had a difficult, well, since I've been watching. Maybe the early game was better.
It's better for him, yeah.
Better for him. His last couple of fights haven't really delivered, so I only get to see the bad parts of Vampire. I'm so sorry to.
Maybe you're the problem.
Maybe I am the problem. There are. Yeah, that can occasionally happen. Turret's starting to be felled now. The range from JDG really coming online. If you had the poke Kai'Sa, maybe you could fight back a bit against this. You have no such tools here.
Very difficult. It's all in or bust with this comp, and they're thinking about doing just that as Vampire steps on what is only really onto missing, and now he's caught forwards, has to flash away, and Pace says, no you don't. I Arcane Shift and Q you. Eat my Mystic Shot, Taeyun. Hit with another! The Arcane Shift forwards will be barriered as they turn around now with the Hound's Pursuit eviscerating forwards, but again, there is no HP, and JDG were pushed this game by WE, but a failed fight for Soul Point into a Baron, and JDG's work done to the map earlier comes and pays them back with dividends in the form of a Nexus.
The sharpshooter Pays really making his impact here in the late game. JDG will move to 2-0. Wouldn't necessarily call it clean, but I would call it done.
That is...